Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines with me, CityZilla. And in today's episode, we are going to be finishing off our airport. So we are going to be putting in runways on either side. I really want to go all in on hangars, as I'd seen a few comments, and then looking through Google Maps, I came to the conclusion that a lot of these really large airports have a ton of hangars. And so I think it would just be more realistic. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. First thing that I want to do, I went ahead and connected this up, but we're going to go ahead and delete it right now because this is right in my way. I want to jump in here, go to our airports tab, and then expand our concourses a little bit. I think we're going to use those same concourses right there. And what I want to do is try our best to create a 90-degree angle. So I think I'm actually going to jump into the rule roads real fast. And we are just going to draw this guy out, go like that, bada bing, go like that. Perfect. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to give us the perfect angle for this. And it does kind of suck. It's going to be stuck underground. Actually, I'm just going to go like that. So we'll go like that, and then I will delete this guy and then connect it up. Oop, looks like we got one more. And there we go. And honestly, I think that may be one too wide, but we'll see. And so I'm going to just copy it on this side. And there we go. And the reason I wanted to do that is because it's just going to give us a little more room for some airplane stands. And then my idea is to put some roads around the outside. And so we probably are going to be doing some terraforming of our little island here. We don't really have a whole lot of space, and there's a lot of ship paths that go around this, but there's definitely some room for us to make some improvements upon it. And so we are going to jump into our runways first, just so that we can kind of get an idea of what we're working with. So I think we will do one rather large one, and I'm going to point these away from the city on this side, and then on the other side we'll probably go the opposite direction. It's kind of funny, after doing a little bit of research, I found out that most runways are actually bi-directional, and so they wouldn't be stuck in one direction like this. You normally only see, at least from what I read, one-way runways in areas where there's some sort of danger near the runway, like maybe rocks or something like that, but otherwise they are bi-directional. And so I thought that was super cool. I know it probably would have been almost impossible for the developers to create a bi-directional runway, and so I don't blame them for not attempting that. But all right, so what I want to do is create another runway that is quite a ways away. But I think we will come out here. Maybe we'll go like right there. It's gonna, it's kind of far away, but it's gonna allow us some room to do some taxiways in the middle, which I think is super important. And then for this side, we are going to put one big one. Probably we'll do a couple smaller guys. We're gonna do a cargo terminal right there. And so what I'm thinking is we will do one like this. And I want it to try to be parallel with that. Yeah, it looks okay. It's not ideal, but it works for our purposes. So then we're going to come up here. I think we will go, we'll go two away again. We'll go like that. And then we will go two away again. And there we go. There's our basic runway pattern. 3 going this way, 2 going that way. And then again, they would be bi-directional. But we really don't have anything to fear going this way anyways. Our downtown is kind of far away. And so we will then tuck our cargo back there, and we will start doing some airplane stands. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. Now I want to jump into airplane stands, and we are going to do our large ones on these guys. So let's go ahead and come out here. I want it to be right at that angle, so we'll go right there. We'll try to go right next to this guy, so like right there. I think we can fit 4. And there we go. And it's kind of funny. Normally these large planes would be your international planes, and so having them split like this would actually probably hurt the airport a little bit. And so what I'm thinking now is we will squeeze in our medium ones down here. There we go. And they look about even. It looks like they're terminating at about the same angle. That's really what I'm trying to go for here, is some sort of symmetry. And so now I'm going to put our small ones on here. And so I don't want to put this too far down because it is going to have to turn into that. So I think we will go like right there, and then we will kind of test that out and see if it works. Yeah, that works. And so now we're just going to do our best to get as many of these as we can. All right, and there we go. It's kind of funny having this little outdoor area here would be kind of weird. You would be really close to the airplane stands. But in areas that I have seen outdoor areas in airports, they normally do like really big glass pieces. It wouldn't just be like a regular fence here. It would actually be like a protective piece. And they do a lot of times end up being right next to the airplane stands. They're just not normally on ground level. They would be on like a balcony. But I think that's good. And so now what I'm going to do is just draw in a basic little taxiway network. So we're just going to connect this around, and then we're going to connect it all up to the runways. And then I have some ideas for some pretty cool little patterns, but we want to try and create some access instead of just one road that goes all the way around. And so let's go ahead and see what we come up with. All right, so there it is. And I kind of wish that these were lined up a little more. I didn't really think about it with the length of this runway. Because this runway is so long, it kind of skewed these two ends. I was really going for symmetry here. And then I ended up curving these because they are meant to bypass some of these gates so that the planes wouldn't have to literally drive in front of every gate. So if a plane came off here and they needed to get over here, they could just take this little shortcut and go to one of these two gates. Similar with these two, they could just take this one without having to run in front of all these small gates. But then I did a couple little back and forths here so that if a plane does land over here but needs to get to one of these gates, they can. Okay, so what I'm thinking for the hangars is we will draw in this little taxiway over here. We will go like this, and then we will come all the way across. Go like that, and then we will create a nice little space over here. So I want to do large aircraft hangars first, and then we're just going to do a bunch of these guys. I really want to get a ton in here. I think it would be fantastic. I don't want them to be right next to the runway. Yeah, there we go. They go like right next to that. That's good though. You see that in airports sometimes where the taxiway's that close. Look at this lone tree. Whoever was in charge of that, that's super dangerous. Like right there, look at this guy. And so we will come into our large aircraft hangars, go like this, and I'm just going to do a ton of these guys. So we're going to go all the way down, and there we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then what we're going to do is create another row in the back. But first I want to draw on a little road because having access back here would be super important. And so we will come up here, go like this, go all the way across. Bam, look at that. Does it clip that? Oh, that's okay. And then we will figure out a way to connect this up, probably with a tunnel somehow maybe, because I want to come in here and do another road around. And we really want to provide as much access to this as we can. That's really what I'm going for. Is that too close? No, that's pretty good. We're going to put a fence up around that road though. That's why I'm not really worried about it at this moment. And then we will extend out our airport area. And then we will put in some small hangars back here. All right, and so I think that looks pretty good. We need to just connect this up with water. All right, so there is our first little hangar district. I think it looks pretty good. I went ahead and attached this road up over here. We're going to do like a perimeter road. Because a lot of times with airports, you have some sort of perimeter road where like a police officer could drive or something like that. And so I want to do another hangar district right here. I feel like this space is big enough for us to be able to add it in. I think it's just going to look really good. All right, and there we go. I think it looks pretty good. And then we are just going to use a road to kind of clean it up a little bit. I don't really like how close these are to that runway. I don't know how realistic that is, but I really wanted to get just a ton of these guys in here, and I like how it ended up looking. I think we're going to attach this guy up. All right, and there we go. And then I just want to come in here, and I'm going to do some fences around here because these would be like working areas. I think there would be fences to protect anybody from like accidentally walking on, or maybe a car or something like that. And there we go. So I put a little perimeter fence in, and then these all have little fences, so I'm not super worried about these. I think we're going to do a little guy right here though. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So now there is access to the hangars. So I ended up doing some surface painter around the airplane stands. I think it looks good without them right here, but we may come back and end up updating some of these with some more. But I like how this looks, and I like the road back there. I think it's a really good use of space. I think over here probably would be good too, but it's really tight, so I don't want to overcrowd it, especially since we already have hangars back here and over there. And so now what I want to do, we didn't really touch on the airport lounges in the first episode, so I want to place down some of those guys. And where are they? And then we need to do our control towers as well. All right, so what I'm thinking is we'll do one right there, we'll do one right there, and then we'll come over here and probably do the same. One right there, and then we'll probably even do one on either side of these. And then we are going to do these control towers. And so I want to put these guys. So I'm thinking maybe we'll place that there. I don't really like how small these control towers are. I wish they had the big ones in the game. But then we're just going to come over here and probably place these guys right here. So I think that looks pretty good. I just did one over here as this control tower I think would be able to see pretty much everything, but maybe not. I mean, this guy's really small. Looks like they wouldn't be able to see that right side over there, so maybe we'll place one on the other side. Alright, so we got 4 control towers. I ended up doing 2 over here because the slant, it would be kind of hard to see the whole air runway. And so now what I want to do is place some small warehouses over here. Not a whole bunch, we're just going to do a couple. It's not going to be as involved as the other side as we really don't have a ton of space. Alright, so that's all I decided to do over here, and then we are going to do fences again once we get this road all the way around, and we'll kind of spend some time to make it look a little better. This side definitely looks the best. This side looks good though, and we still need to do... So we got the road in here, and I think maybe if we use surface painter a little bit right here would probably be good. So we'll go like that. Let's go ahead and fill in the rest back here too. Yeah, I think this looks good. Yeah, there you go. Kind of cleans it up a little bit. And we are going to come back through here and put in fences and stuff. So now I want to jump into our cargo terminal, and we're just going to go and place it like right here. And then I want to jump into our little air cargo road and extend this out. Because this is such a big airport, it would be safe to assume that it would also be a really big cargo port. We did make it just a little too close to the freeway though, or the runway. I didn't really notice that until just now. That would be kind of hard to deal with. So I think we're going to shift this up. We'll go like right there. I think that's good. All right, and so now for our taxiways for this guy, I just want to come in here, go like this, bada bing. So we will have this guy go out here, have him go down, but then we will have this go this way. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks good. And then what we'll do is we will just make some connections. I kind of wish this one was at a similar angle, but due to the nodes in these taxiways, they're kind of difficult to deal with. And so now we're just going to do some water, and voila, we should start getting all our little cargo guys in. And so I want to do some warehouses back here, and then if we can squeeze in some more hangars. I really don't know if we're going to have enough space, but alright, so I ended up dredging out more of the island back here. We were kind of a little cramped in there, and I didn't want to really block ourselves in. You can kind of see all the water running through our airport now. But it kind of leaves us enough room to be able to do like some more hangars over here, and then to create a little bit better of like an off-ramp situation for this. And so what I'm thinking is we will jump into our industrial road. Well, actually, you know what? We'll jump into our highway road and do a real off-ramp here. And so we will go like this, and then we'll copy it on this side as well. And then we will jump into our industrial road. And what I'm thinking is we will probably curve this guy in. Yeah, I think that would be good. And then what we can do is do the same on this side. So we will curve this guy in. Yeah, there you go. So at least it looks a little bit better. Not much, but just enough. And so we will then upgrade these to one ways up until there. And then we will add in some connections. So let's go ahead and add in this guy. And then we will follow this around. We'll go like right there. And then now our road around here has access, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. Go like that. Yeah, you know what? That already looks so much better. These little turns are kind of weird in here, but it would provide enough access, which is really what we're trying to go for here. And so I do want to add in some trash service over here, and then I want to add in a power station. So I think for trash, what we'll do is we will add in, we could do right there. I feel like that's a little weird spot though. I feel like back here is probably better. So we'll put in a small little road, and then we will go like this. Yeah, you know what? That's good, because then it's not on the road directly, but it's in a decent spot. And so we do need to connect this up with power. We'll go like that. Bada bing. Should be all good now. Let's go ahead and see if we just get a mountain of cargo airplanes. Sometimes for the regular terminals, they just pop up. I guess not. So That would have been cool if they all just appeared though. But now what I want to do, we are going to do just a small power station just to cover this area. It would be more of like a safety concern for the airport. So we're going to do 2 geothermals, and I think that's pretty good. I ended up putting them off that road because it was already kind of right there. It's not a huge deal. And then I think we will do a road around. I think that would be good. Yeah, there you go. And then let's go ahead and put in a fence. I didn't realize there was no fence for this guy. So I'm going to do a fence all the way around. Yeah, there you go. Looks pretty good. And then I think I'm just going to fill in the rest with concrete. Yeah, that looks good. Super easy, nothing too complicated. I think we will end up putting in some parking in here. Because this is a huge industrial area, it would be fair to assume that there would be a ton of parking, especially with it being on an island like this. It would be really hard to get to. All right, so I think this looks really good. I ended up cleaning up a little bit of this. I did the surface painter. I did some light landscaping in here with the parking lot, and then I added in this huge waste management complex just because it was going to be really important for us to have it. But then I was hoping to get in some more warehouses over here, but it just doesn't seem super feasible for our space. And I really was hoping to try to get more over here too, but we're just so tight on space, and I think what we have is probably good. I don't want to overdo it, and that's really the problem here. And so what I think we're going to do now is finish our little road around and then hook up access, and we will see if we forgot anything. All right, there we go. I think it looks really good. I just want to just put in a little fence around this area down here. And so I think we will probably go from like right here and then follow this down and then go to a similar distance on the other side, just because this would be a safety issue. And then same with over here, we would want this to be covered in case anybody like parked and got out of their car. We really wouldn't want them to be able to get into the airport. That would really be a huge risk for us. And so then over here, I want this to be covered as well. So we will go this, go like that, and then cover this around. We'll have our little access road able to get in. Then we'll go like that, and then we will come over here and do the same kind of things. We'll come over here, go down, access road can come in. Then we're good like that. And so now the whole area would be kind of controlled. You'd be able to, I mean, just drive up, like float up to the outer edge of this, but I really don't know if anybody would do that, but maybe somebody has. I'm not really sure. I think if we do surface painter in here too, this would probably clean this up just a little bit. Not much, but just a smidge. Yeah, there you go. It looks clean. It gives it that contrast. I think this looks good. So I want to come in here and set up mass transit now. We didn't hook up the metro or our buses. So I'm going to do our little bus stop first. And the whole point of this is to have a shuttle. So we're actually going to come over here, place this guy down, and then we're going to go in here. And this would just kind of loop around. And so we're going to do stops down below. And then stops up top. This would be for people who were like inside the parking lot or something. And there we go. Just a little shuttle bus around, super easy. And then we'll probably do one as well, like an express route. So then our metro, what we're going to do is complete this loop. So we have this metro line that goes all the way down here. So I'm just going to loop it around and then connect it up to this. And then I'm going to connect these two up to the terminal as well. And so we will go ahead and do that. All right, so I have hooked up all the metro. And so I actually did something a little different than what I was initially planning. So I had this one go into its own station. I had this one go into its own station. And then I connected up the loop going all the way around the city. So now it is bi-directional, which I think is just great. And then the entire city now has access to the airport because it literally goes through all the little boroughs and everything. It's really great line. This is one of the things that I did with this map. Since this was just a test map, I just did one really big metro and it seemed to work out really well. It's kind of funny. Why do we have all these cars just like, oh, it's all these people coming in. Wow, look at this. This is great. Do they not have access to our little metro terminal? Because this is like right there. If they could just walk down there, that would be great. So this is a little crazy. Let's go ahead and put in some taxi depots though too, since the taxis are such a big part of this. I don't think we have any taxi depots yet, so we'll go ahead and do a big row of them. It's kind of funny, I mentioned this in my Crater Lake series as well. In Las Vegas, there's a really big row of taxi depots. It's like all the taxi depots are in one area. But the taxis really help you with that too, because we really want to try to get people to walk over here. And it does look like this is already being utilized. Let's go ahead and look at our metro lines though and see if we are getting any action out of this. So it was 5 and 6. We're going to go ahead and use the high capacity metro. And then these are our airport expresses. So these are only airport only metros. And so now this metro line was just crazy before. Looks like we got 7. We're going to bump this up to 14. Because this is the only mass transit in this city, it is really heavily utilized. So 14, let's look at this. Yeah, we got some major stops. 500. Once they get spread out though, they'll be okay. They're just all bunched up right now. This will catch up because we normally get, I mean, just so many people taking the metro. For me to delete those lines was just a huge deal. And so now we should actually start getting some really good action in here. Especially, it looks like people are already walking from the airport, which is really what we're trying to go for here. We want as many people as possible to walk. And so let's look at our airport stats. So passenger count, we're already at 32,000, which is crazy. Our incoming and outgoing are pretty balanced. We're not selling all of our seats though, which is an issue. We don't have a headquarters, so let's go ahead and place that guy down, even though I really don't think we're going to be playing the city anymore. But if you guys are interested in exploring the city out, just let me know. I think I'm going to upload the save file to Steam for this, though. I haven't done it for Crater Lake yet, as I've just been kind of hesitant, but since this is a test city, I would be willing to kind of test it out and see how it works. And so now that should give us our airline settings, which is great. And I think this bumps up your overall effectiveness too. Look at so we have great attractiveness, 4,000 attractiveness, which is huge. But I'm hoping that increases our utilization on this. So let's go through here and make sure that we didn't forget anything. So we did our concourses. We have small, medium, large taxi stands. We have our control towers. We didn't do any of the islands, which kind of suck. Maybe we'll end up doing another airport build. If you guys want to see another airport build, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. I'm not really sure if I was going to do another one, but if you guys still express a lot of interest, maybe I'll do one more, maybe like an unmodded one, maybe. Yeah, we got cargo, we got fences. We didn't do the museum, and we only did the below ground metro, and then the bus. So I think that's pretty much it. We got the road going around, we did fences, we got the cargo terminal. I kind of wish this was a little better. It's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and fix this guy. All right, so yeah, I think it turned out really well. I like how we got this really big cargo terminal over here, and then all the hangars, and then we got everything in here. I think the only thing I kind of wish I would have done is just change these, but I think the overall terminal looks good. I decided not to do the long-term parking, as doing a people mover from here would have been hard. Maybe doing the buses would have been good. That actually might have been something I should have looked at, but let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in another airport build, go ahead and click the video on your screen, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.